Welcome, everyone. I'm Amy Seeley, president of Seeley Test Pros and LEAP, helping students to succeed in all kinds of tests from 8th grade to grad school throughout Ohio.
And I'm Mike Bergen, president of Chariot Learning, helping students with tests, school, and life based out of Rochester, New York.
Between the two of us today, we have over 60 years of experience at the highest levels of the test preparation and supplemental education industries.
We both love to talk and learn about the latest issues in education, testing, and admissions. So let's get down to tests and the rest. The awesome sponsor we want to spotlight today is MentoMind. Let's meet our special guests, Amit, Jain, and Chris McKenna. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike and Amit. It's good to be back, and I'm loving it.
It's good to have you back, Amit. You've been on our show before. Actually, in episode 631, we did a spotlight of MentoMind, and today we're going to pick up from where we left off. But of course, I should also mention your long-standing interest in AI. In episode 539, we had a great discussion about how tutors can use AI. I figured that might inform our conversation. Chris, you are new to the podcast.
Yes, I'm new to the podcast. Thank you for having us. It's good to be here and look forward to a discussion today. I'm an academic specialist at MentoMind, so Amit and I will be talking today about everything that's happening at MentoMind, all our latest and greatest, as well as the TutorHub, which we're looking forward to.
Let's dive right in. Why don't we start with just how tutors are using MentoMind right now? It's a fantastic tool, but how are people using it in practical terms?
Yes, so absolutely. So currently, MentoMind and the platform itself is expanding quite a bit. It's an exciting sort of developmental phase for us. Most tutors currently are using MentoMind, though, for one-on-one tutoring as well as group classes. So those are the two main functions. And within both of those contexts, MentoMind delivers diagnostic tests. So tutors administer diagnostic tests to students. It delivers very specific and targeted feedback. So in a one-on-one context, tutors may use the MentoMind platform to deliver a diagnostic test and then target specific areas for follow-up one-on-one sessions, as well as administer practice tests. And then in group classes, tutors can similarly very easily assign practice tests, but also, most importantly, MentoMind delivers very specific breakdown of student progress and student performance in very specific subject areas. So even within a group class setting, tutors can see very specifically where their student weaknesses are and assign very targeted and specific homework. And so that's one of our big goals at MentoMind is to leverage AI, the technology on our platform, to really deliver a personalized learning experience at scale. So it's pretty exciting period of time for us in MentoMind.
That's awesome. You know, I feel like I jumped the gun a little bit. Many educators and tutors are familiar with MentoMind, but some people are not. Maybe this is a good time for a 30-second, like, what is MentoMind?
Yeah, absolutely. So MentoMind is an academic platform for tutors, which tutors can actually run with their students, either in a self-paced mode, like the students can practice on their own. Tutors still have access to all the data, but then also very high impact one-to-one tutoring where they can use MentoMind for courses like SAT, ACT. We recently added HSPT, and then tutors themselves are actually creating more courses on the platform like AP and all. So any tutor can just use that course and deliver that learning to their students in one-on-one or a group setting.
And see, that makes everything much easier to understand.
So you're telling us what MentoMind does, but can you tell us more about how can people use MentoMind, especially tutors, to be able to attract more students?
Absolutely, yeah. So I would say this is probably the biggest thing we have seen, the biggest growth area in the last 6 months, and it is very counterintuitive. So tutors are actually fully white labeling our platform and using it in a self-paced mode as their front door, right? So here is how it works. So a tutoring company, say they offer self-paced SAT under their brand, and they offer it to the freshmen and sophomore who may be very early in their test prep journey. Maybe they have to build their fundamentals and skills, or maybe for those families who can't really fit tutoring into their schedule right now, right? Or also the families who don't think they need tutoring, right? So in that case, that self-paced mode runs really in itself, right? It runs the initial diagnostic testing. It identifies the weaker topics and subtopics and specific questions that the students are getting wrong. It automatically assigns homework. It surfaces the appropriate topic guide and video when needed, and tracks progress and keeps the parent and tutor informed. And it is much lower cost than tutoring, so parents can actually buy a monthly subscription directly through the tutor's white label site. But here is the more interesting part. Obviously, even though the students are doing on their own, the tutor still sees all the data, right? How the students are doing or what they are not doing, right? Where they are struggling. And so after a couple of months, the tutors take all this data and go back to the parents and say, hey, I have been watching Sarah's progress and she seemed to be doing good in these areas. But specifically in these other areas, say algebra or geometry, we see a student is missing certain questions and maybe not able to complete the homework assignments. Would it make sense to do some targeted tutoring in those areas? So suddenly it's not about cold calling, right? It's a conversation with those parents, around the inside about their kid, right? So it really helps build that pipeline where the digital platform is actually extending a tutor company's reach, right? So maybe they tutored 20 students in a month with their tutor staff, but with this they can really reach those 100 of students, and some of them they can engage into more specific tutoring. It's really what we see is that the self-paced mode of the platform is really helping tutors grow their footprint and really build a steady pipeline of students.
So I am imagining this in a couple different ways. If a tutoring company is running groups and the students are using the platform, it would, a lot of times we know in groups, right, you don't get as much individualized attention, but what you're suggesting is that it could illuminate a weakness somewhere that by making the family aware of hey, your student probably would progress more if you started to pay more attention to a particular area where maybe some more individualized instruction would be beneficial. Is that fair?
Absolutely. And as I said, it's a very easy conversation then, because now you still have all access to all the data. So even the student is doing on their own, you can see all the charts and all the analytics about how the student is doing.
I also like how MentoMind helps address one of the major pain points in assigning homework, is that when we assign homework, we have to know how a student did. And that means that if you don't have MentoMind, then you have to review the homework and you have to go over it, and that cuts into your instructional time. But if you can do that in the background, you can assign the work to the students, but see analytics for how they performed, you can still get the benefit of the work you assigned them without slowing down your instructional plan.
Or incurring more tutoring hours, right? You're just
Right.
becoming more effective and efficient with the time that the direct instruction would take.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that also at a very precise level where, when the students are completing homework, we are really tracking what kind of questions they're getting wrong, right? And where they need to do more homework or read more study material. So that kind of takes away a lot of load from the tutors.
Love that. Now, you started with SAT and ACT, but you've added some high school entrance exams. And I think that that's part of the growth of MentoMind into more of an all-learning course platform. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. And so that is our vision at MentoMind, which I know Amit can probably speak to more, but is ultimately to move into these other subject areas of AP coursework, which is starting to begin, which we're starting to attract students and tutors in those areas as well. But ultimately what happened was we began as an SAT specific platform, and our tutors really inspired us to evolve. What we noticed and what our tutors began to notice is that the infrastructure that we built up around the SAT works well for most subjects. MentoMind, as I guess we all kind of started to discuss, what it does is it just offloads an immense amount of administrative work for tutors. So being a tutor myself, one of the reasons I was really excited about joining MentoMind was that I realized how much value there is to a tutor in being able to scale the work that you do and to deliver personalized one-on-one instruction to students as your numbers increase, right? When you get 15, 20 plus students, it becomes very difficult to manage, say, 20 or even 30 separate students. It's almost like teaching 20 or 25 different classes, right? So what MentoMind allows you to do is to track student progress. But basically, we realized that this infrastructure that we built up works well for all kinds of academic subjects. So we just added HSPT, and we have AP courses which are launching soon as well. And we have tutors beginning to contribute in addition. And we're hoping to expand on that effort again with the TutorHub and using the AI tools that we have built in to generate questions, to generate new questions or questions that are modeled on what tutors already have. And so we now have tutors themselves who are bringing their expertise to the platform as well. And that's also really exciting.
Chris, are you saying that tutors don't love to do administrative work?
Maybe.
Oh, only Mike's tutors like to do admin work.
Oh, that's not true at all. I mean, nobody likes that, right?
No,
And nobody likes to manually grade assignments
No.
and just all the things that get you out of what you're really in it for, which is working directly with students to improve their scores.
and the learning.
Yes.
Yeah, much like teachers in schools don't want the admin work, we as tutors do not want the admin work as well. So tell us a little bit more about the new and upcoming AI-powered toolkit, TutorHub, that you guys are mentioning here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are super excited about this. Chris mentioned that we have built those tools where tutors can create courses. So that's already happening, right? So the AP courses that we just talked about, it's actually not coming from us. It's one of our tutoring partners, right? So they have been using the AP course with their own students, and they said, hey, I'm going to make it full and I'm going to make it available for other tutors on the platform. So that's kind of like becoming, tutors bringing their own content and developing those courses. However, with the TutorHub, what we are trying to do is like open up the technology to everybody, right? So it's not only the course creators or users who just can create courses. With the TutorHub, what we're trying to do is putting the technology open. That means it's going to be any tutor can come and use some of these tools which are there as part of the AI toolkit. And one of the tool is actually taking your existing non-digital material, practice content, and make them digital problem sets. So that's the big thing which we're trying to do with this, and we're going to be keeping it available for free for early adopters. There is no license required for any tutors or any students. So pretty much the core technology that we are using inside MentoMind, we are just opening it up as part of the TutorHub. And so specifically, like, for example, most tutors have like Google Drives containing worksheets in Word or problem sets in PDFs. And so they can just upload those into the platform through TutorHub, and it extracts the question out of the PDFs, create digital problem sets that are auto-graded, and then they can be easily shared as web links with the students. And so that's exactly what Tutor is all about.
So Amit, if I understand correctly, TutorHub right now is going to be a hub or a marketplace for free material.
Exactly. Yeah. So
is there a path, like, do you envision it at a certain point making it a marketplace for paid programs?
Absolutely. So I think that's one thing which we are trying to do is with the TutorHub, it can take a shape of initial sharing, which is like very informal and free. And then later on, the tutors would be able to actually monetize, get compensated for the good content that they create in the form of problem sets, and other tutors can take it. And then eventually the same tutors who are building these small problem sets as content, they can create the whole like full courses, and that can be used by other tutors. So it's pretty much, the problem space is like there is not a lot of good quality content out there. So why don't we just use the expertise of these tutors who actually tutor students, right? And they're vetting their content and building the content and make it available for others to use.
It sounds like a great opportunity for tutors or tutoring companies to really even expand their services because of all these resources that are available in MentoMind.
Absolutely. And very easily a tutor can start with what they have, like the content they're already using. And maybe some of the content, some of the practice questions don't have the explanations, so they can use the tools to add explanations to those questions and content, and then later on just evolve that into a full course, right? So that's the whole idea. So definitely a new world for us, obviously, but we have been seeing for the last couple of years what tutors want, what are they're missing, and this is an opportunity for them.
Well, this is exciting. Well, we're looking forward to spreading the news about TutorHub, and we'll be looking forward to having you back soon to talk about how the launch of TutorHub goes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Well, gentlemen, we could talk about MentoMind all day. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Amy.
If listeners would like to find out more about MentoMind and TutorHub, how can they do that?
They can reach out to me, amit.jain at mentomind.com.
And I'm available also over email, chris.mckenna at mentomind.com.
Awesome. We hope you enjoyed this discussion as much as we did. Be sure to join us for another fascinating topic and guest on the next Tests and the Rest.
Did you enjoy this episode as much as we did? Find expanded links and more for this and all of our episodes at our show page at testsandtherest.com. While you're there, be sure to explore everything the larger TestBright site has to offer, including real, expert, unbiased answers to the toughest admissions testing questions. Of course, we'd love for you to rate, review, and subscribe to Tests and the Rest on your favorite podcast platform. If there's a topic or guest you'd like us to feature, just let us know and spread the word.